of or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble. That doesn't mean that people can be violent when they protest or they want to disagree with somebody, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Nowhere in the First Amendment to the Constitution does it say you have the freedom to be stupid. Here's what Van Jones tweeted. He said, Donald Trump just signed a death warrant for planet Earth. Erase climate protections that were already too weak. Remember I just told you about the report that said that the amount of stuff in the air for the whole planet for the last 3 years has remained flat? And he's erased climate protections that were already too weak? Michael Moore, here's what he tweeted. Historians in the near future will mark today, March 28, 2017, as the day the extinction of human life on Earth began. Thanks to Donald Trump. Folks, that is the ultimate in scare tactics. And nothing in the Constitution or any amendment says you have a right to be stupid. That makes no sense. Let me remind you that man has been on this planet for thousands of years. You can debate how many thousands if you want to. Man started out on this planet, didn't even know how to start a fire. Didn't even know how to cook his food until accidentally one day, some of it got cooked and he said, these pork chops taste better cooked than raw. And you're telling me that man isn't going to have sense enough to protect the planet if things get out of shape? And here's the other thing about this whole climate change thing. China puts more stuff in the air, pollutants, in 3 days than the United States puts in 3 years. There's no crisis, folks, is what I'm trying to say. And that's why we do Rapid Fire.
So many listeners to talk to. So little time. How does Herman cover so many topics with so many people? It's Rapid Fire. Every day with Herman Cain.
Hello, Daniel. You've got a minute on Rapid Fire.
Hey, Herman. Thanks for having me on your show, man. I love hearing you every day.
Thank you.
I'm not going to pretend to know much about climate change, but, I heard you talking about these sanctuary cities. I agree with Jeff Sessions. He's got every right to say that to them. I don't know who they think they are. It seems like they're not only fighting tooth and nail against President Trump, but the American people who voted him in.
Exactly.
And it makes no sense as to why they would take an oath to defend the Constitution, but then do everything they can to try to go completely against it.
Yep. It makes no sense, Daniel. Now, Kate Steinle, I think that was her name, the young lady out in California that was killed by an illegal, the young girl that was raped in North Carolina last week or week before was raped by some illegals. I saw a mother on TV one morning talking about how her son gave an illegal a ride home, and then the illegal forced him to somewhere where he tied him up, threw him in a field, and set the kid on fire. He was here illegally. This is why I don't have any patience either, Daniel, for these people who think that they want to harbor. They are doing it under the guise of they want to be compassionate to hardworking people that are here who just might not have their proper documentation. Well, go get the right documentation. If you're here legally, this administration is trying. I'm not mad at you, Daniel. I just get passionate about this. People have died.
I know. I love
People have died because of illegals in this country. That's all Jeff Sessions and President Trump are trying to do. Enforce the laws that are here and we might keep some of these illegals out. And it just might save the life of some of our citizens. But thanks, Daniel. Appreciate your call, my friend. I'm not mad at you. I just have a hard time staying calm. My wife tells me that I sound like an angry black man sometimes. Well, sometimes I am an angry black man. Bill, what's on your mind today?
Good morning, Herman. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I've heard you mention frequently in discussions on the health care law that one of the things it'll fix will allow insurance companies to sell across state lines. Well, my question is, why can't they do that now? My company does it. Other companies do it. Why can't health insurance companies sell across state lines?
The way the insurance regulations work state by state, they can sell insurance across state lines, but each state would have to establish an agreement with each state individually. For example, Georgia could establish selling insurance across state lines with any states, but they would have to have 49 different agreements. What the administration is pushing to eventually do is to say, you don't have to have 49 different agreements. It'll be based upon the law that says you can sell anywhere. So how it got to that point, I don't really know. Might have been protectionist rules by insurance commissions in the various states. So they can't do it now for legal reasons, and I don't know the origin of those legal reasons. But that's one of the objectives of repeal and replace, is to be able to let them sell across state lines. They can do it now, but each state would have to establish an agreement with each state individual in some sort of bilateral arrangement. Thanks for the call. Hello, Janice. You've got a minute on Rapid Fire.
Hello, Mr. Kane. I just wanted to ask you, what, if anything, can we do to get the people in Washington who have crammed that Obamacare down our throat on the same health care plan that we are on?
At this point, nothing. So the best thing is a new approach. The Obamacare plan that was shoved down our throats, that's cost some people a lot of money because they couldn't afford it, that plan is what we're trying to get rid of. When the Republicans get their plan and their act together, everybody will be under the same rules because it's going to be more market driven. Starting with, you decide what you want to be covered for. You decide how much catastrophic cover. You decide your deductible. You decide, the things that are important to you. You decide how much you want to put into your health savings account. Not be limited by government because, see, under Obamacare, they reduced the amount you could put into the health savings account rather than increase it. The Republicans, as part of the plan that they haven't passed or voted on yet, increased it so you could be more in control. You see, everything that the Obama administration did relative to Obamacare was to take away our rights to make decisions for ourselves. That's what they did. And that's what we're trying to undo. Unfortunately, the Republicans don't have that act together yet. But when they do get it together and we repeal and replace, everybody will be operating under the same rules. Nancy, you've got a minute on Rapid Fire.
Yeah, I want to go back to sanctuary cities. I've got a question.
Okay.
I don't understand why all we have is just the billy club of taking away funds. Now, if some city or some state, I think we fought this battle 150 years ago, some city decided that they wanted to have slavery within their boundaries, that wouldn't go over so big because it's a federal law.
Right.
Why can they get away with saying the only way we can stop you is we'll take away some of your funds? It's a federal law.
I don't know, Nancy. I don't know how some cities can get away with that. And so Jeff Sessions is using the only leverage he has is, okay, we're going to cut off some of the funds that are coming from the federal government. And I don't know exactly what all those programs are, but you're right. I don't know the legality of why they can get away with it. You would think that cities and states would want to work with the federal government. There must be some loophole that allows them not to when it comes to certain things. And to take your point, there are plenty of things that the states and the cities can't do because it's a federal law. So I don't know if there is a federal law that requires cities and states to work with the federal government on immigration law. So that might be the loophole that they're hiding behind. So I don't really have a good answer to your question, but you make a very, very good point. 877-310-2100. Rick, you've got the last minute on Rapid Fire.
Herman Cain, Shucky Ducky.
Shucky Ducky to you, Rick.
All right. Well, I wanted to make a comment on the air and the clean air that you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
When you brought up China,
Yes.
it brought a memory to me during the Obama administration. That do you recall that deal he signed with China? It was some ridiculous thing of where we as Americans are going to do everything in our power to clean up the air for the next 30 years.
Right.
And then China was going to jump in.
Yes, I remember that. They were going to be given a grace period of 10 or 15 years, and we were supposed to start right away. This is what President Trump is undoing. He is undoing that sort of thing, because the agreement that Obama signed in the first place was never ratified by the Senate, which meant that it wasn't binding. So all Trump is doing is undoing what was never binding in the first place. But you're absolutely right. It didn't make any sense. It put us at a big disadvantage in terms of the world, and we are not the world's biggest polluter. Thanks a lot, Rick. You're listening to the Herman Cain Show.
Credible, experienced, engaging. Herman Cain.
He keeps it real.
He gives it to you as it is.
Daily solutions for a better America.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah, that was good rapid fire.
I tried to keep it rapid.
That was good.
Yes. We'll be back.